A Latina who is a U.S. citizen was stopped by the police in Florida, taken to the county jail, and not released until they can prove her immigration status.
Get through the body cam footage, and we finally have some pretty good evidence of this being racially profiling because, well, they just made stuff up at this point. So here we have them saying she is Colombian and that it's pretty weird that she's Colombian. We just picked her up from the airport.
Okay. So I guess they just picked her at the airport, which is a little weird to me.
She's from Colombia?
That's honest. That's like weird.
That whole thing right there makes zero sense because, well, she's Mexican, not even Colombian, which is great. And then they double it down with this.
Passenger in the back is from Colombia.
And then they triple it down once we get to the actual jail. They ask her for her status once again. Actually, they asked twice.
The reason they asked for the, if she was a citizen is because if she's not a citizen, she would have gone through ICE.
You guys are racist, that's the thing.
So they made up that she was Colombian. They arrested her and falsified a police report. And then also she had to spend the night in jail with no crime committed. The only thing we ever got pulled over for was my tent.
This was absolutely racial profiling. Even like he said in another video where he goes into more detail of what happened, they never asked him for his immigration status. They only asked the girlfriend who is Mexican and her sister. Now, in another video, he gives more details about what happened that night. And the cops were absolutely lying. He didn't pick them up from the airport. They were going to get some snacks. Again, they're not from Colombia. They're from Mexico and they're U.S. citizens. And his girlfriend was taken to county jail from 1:30 in the morning. She stayed there till about 10 or 11 a.m. until he could come and bail her out. Bail her out for what? They're the ones who racially profiled and took her in to try and prove her immigration status. And again, he was the one that was driving with tinted windows. He was the one that police pulled over, but they went in hard against her because she is Latina. And what happened to that Latina is going to happen to a lot more people because Florida passed the 287G agreement. This law allows local and state police to work with immigration officials more closely. And the way this law stands, cops are not allowed to do what is known as street level enforcement. They can't just stop you in the street and ask you for your status, but authorize local officers to interrogate and detain suspect in their custody or jails. That's why they took her to county jail until they can prove her status. Now, ICE will tell you that they're now racial profiling and that any indication of racial profiling will be treated with the utmost scrutiny and fully investigated. We'll investigate this because just like he said, he was never asked for a status. He was never asked to prove that he is a U.S. citizen. Only the Latina was. These laws are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, racially profiling and discriminating people. And this is what we've been saying. U.S. citizens are going to get caught up in these anti-immigrant laws. And here's proof. And remember, to keep up with news stories like these, sign up for my newsletter, check out my podcast or one of my other social media sites, link in bio.